So family, get another beautiful day, loving it, giving thanks to Percy Creator, whoever you may conceive him, or to be. Now I'm just getting the scoop on this restaurant called Onk. Now Onk is a black guy that does the cooking. And people think that he was the owner of the restaurant, but he wasn't. He was just a cook. But he cooked so good that they got people lined up blocks around to get the food. But it was owned by a white man. But he was a cook. But no, anyway, folks, check it out. It just goes to show you they need us more than we need them because we are good at whatever we do. And they need us more than we need them. Okay, folks, check it out. Subscribe, share, like, leave a comment. Came together and we became partners after about 4 years of working with each other. He's the only reason why this place does barbecue. He's the original pitmaster, recipe maker, everything. I owe him everything. That's why he became a partner. Nick, that's my partner, bro. Well, good job. No, I gotta eat a little bit this mountain. Just out there. Just a black dad. I gotta test it. Y'all know I gotta test it. Wow. Shake that for me, Walt, so you can see it fall. Wow, that's crazy. Do it now. Oh, it's feeling again. Look at that. Wow. Hey, one more time, my friend. What's that red on that oxtail for everybody? The smoke. It's fully cooked, though, right? We just have to be clear. People are wondering, is that cooked all the way? Look, sir. If it wasn't cooked, it wouldn't come off this bone like that. Ragu. Now, see, this is a bone, meat. You say how raw meat, it won't come off the bone. But this right here, wow, definitely fully cooked. It's finna get fully ate too. So apparently the guy that is controlling Unk for that restaurant, the one that he goes online and he says tenderism, apparently the owner of that restaurant trademarked that word, tenderism. Meaning that, unfortunately, Unk, if he leaves, decides to do his own thing, goes his own direction, tries to blow up on his own, tries to get away from the restaurant, or whatever the case is. I mean, not even just for anything petty, just trying to grow on his own. I mean, the guy's very old, so I don't know how much he would go in that direction, you know. But honestly, now he has even less of an opportunity to do so because of the fact that his own trademark word that he would say after the meat would fall off the bone is now trademarked by his, what can only be described as of now, being his handler, which, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. No, he can win it. He can win it. He can fight in a minute. Star. He's dancing in the videos now. Uncle can fight in a minute. He's hanging out. He's having Unk record him now. Like, yeah, it's clear as day what's going on in that restaurant, and even though the food is good, I mean, I just wouldn't go there. I just wouldn't go there at all to support that, especially the fact that he essentially stripped everything from Unk, so Unk could do his own thing. Which I'm saying Unk, I don't know his name, but that's what he goes by online. So yeah, it's pretty sad. Got fired? What? The only reason I know this establishment exists is because of Unk and his viral videos, and y'all fired him. Now my question is the food good enough to survive this kind of controversy? I'll never find out because I'm not going without Unk, respectfully, but somebody go and report back. From what I can tell, this all started after Keith Lee went to the restaurant to give Unk a $4,000 tip. Now allegedly some of the workers or some of the staff blocked Keith Lee from giving out that blessing, and after that everything went downhill. This is so crazy because Unk became the face of the brand, but he did not own the brand. And when you're the face of the brand but not the owner, you really have little to no leverage when things go left. The owner can wake up one day and decide that you think you're bigger than the program, and that's it. And it seems like the owner fired Unk, and that was that. Whatever, I guess it was his business decision, but it's a business decision that I definitely don't understand. Do y'all not like money? The line was wrapped around the door because of Unk. It seemed like they could have made a lot more money together, and while I don't have all the information, from the outside looking in, this looks like a case of the owner's ego getting in the way. And ego is expensive. Well, it looks like Unk has his own page and he's starting over from scratch, so that's where you'll find me. Destination Smokehouse! Yeah, that smoke starting to turn to fire. Yeah, Destination Smokehouse! Ah! That smoke starting to turn to fire. Yeah, listen. I'm gonna go ahead and say the quiet part out loud. We found out that it ain't no black people cooking back there. Ain't no aunties up wasn't on the grill. He ain't had Jesus walking fobs on. He wasn't telling people stay away from his grill, don't touch his grill. It's actually you back there. No personality. It looked like, honestly, you was using him to shuck his job. And when Keith
will be in black homes like Martin Luther King on a grandma's wall right next to Barack Obama. And you seem to want to address the situation knowing that what Keith Lee says is law. I'm going to just put that out there. Yeah.
I have an update on Destination Smokehouse stealing tenderism and filing a trademark without including UNC on it. First, let me start by saying, yes, Destination Smokehouse filed a fraudulent trademark application with the USPTO for tenderism under the direction of an attorney. Now, this is my issue with the attorney. We are supposed to do a thorough search prior to filing an application to let the client know, hey, this name is available, or this is a competing application. What do you want to do? We all know that it's first to file who gets priority before an examining attorney in order to determine ownership. Kenneth Harris, who is an attorney, decided that he was going to go and file an application under the USPTO in order to protect UNC's rights. And I'm so glad that he did that because it was the right thing to do. Now, here's the issue. The issue is he's been trying to transfer his application over to UNC, but has been unsuccessful in getting in contact with him. I wonder fucking why. Because Keith Lee also had an issue when he arrived in order to bless UNC with a gift. But no, they didn't allow him to see UNC without them present. So I wholeheartedly believe that the owner of Destination Smokehouse is preventing Attorney Harris from getting in contact with UNC in order to transfer this application over because he is the rightful owner of tenderism, not Destination Smokehouse. What's even more concerning with this owner, and so he is making it seem like, and I posted all the videos to show you that he has said repeatedly they were partners, they are this, they are that. Guess what? If y'all were partners, you would have added him to that trademark application, but you didn't.
I want to give a salute, clap, to Keith Lee. Not only does Keith Lee does great things for small businesses, restaurants, and trying to help support and promote them and give them some shine, but it took him to pull that veil back on what was going on with Mr. Tenderism and Destination Smokehouse. Because up until then, a lot of people were still under the impression that with Destination Smokehouse at least had some kind of leverage with Destination Smokehouse, or part ownership, but he didn't. And it took Keith Lee to go there to pull back the veil and the curtain that man was just using and Unc didn't really realize it until Keith Lee came there and tried to give him $4,000 or $5,000, and they wouldn't allow Keith Lee to give that to him. So everything, all the layers started being peeled back then. And now we find out that Unc has indeed, I guess, been fired because he pretty much said as much without saying it from Destination Smokehouse. And that man used Unc, whether Unc knew it or not, he was taken advantage of because Unc was being trustworthy and loyal and showing some gratitude to someone who never had good intentions for him anyway. Because it was Unc that told him to change his shop from a coffee shop to a barbecue shop. And it was Unc that made Destination Smokehouse this nationwide phenomenon. So he used him up, got jealous of Unc, and discarded him. So now Unc on his own, and I hope we continue to support Unc, aka Mr. Tenderism, Walter Johnson, and say to hell with Destination Smokehouse. All praises to the Most High.
Update. We could not get to Unc. Security said it was over with for the day. They said that he was filming something. I believe he was filming a podcast. We had $5,000 in cash, or $4,000 in cash that we was going to give him a hand. They didn't take it, so we're not only going to take this money and feed some people, but we just going to do what we feel like we're supposed to do in the community.
And as always, after this, I pray and hope that they continue to reach their target audience.
Do Walter have ownership or equity in a Destination Smokehouse?
What he's added to the business has been huge and is very visible to a lot of people. But then at the end of the day, it shortchanges so many other people who built this business, including this guy, who when I met him had absolutely zero. And as far as ownership goes, as much as I'll say, because I'm going to respect Walt's privacy, Walt is definitely a part of this business. He is not an employee. I would be safe to say that the finances that we have both been able to increase into our bank account since we've been here has been something great for both of us. But talking numbers, talking any of that. I just don't think that's professional. I mean, anybody really knows Walt, it's an insult to think that he would be taken advantage of by anybody, especially by this guy. The white man.
Let me get this straight. You're telling me that Mr. Tendernism don't own the restaurant that has gone viral because the meat falls off of the bone?
Boy, look here, this is tenderism in its best.
And that this man is the owner? So this whole time, we thought Unc was the one who was getting the profits, the benefits, the financial rewards. But yet it's the owner. Unc ain't nothing but the mascot. Unc ain't nothing but the face of the restaurant. Unc got the secret recipe. How that Keith Lee exposed them in an indirect way because God works in mysterious ways. Let me tell you what happened in case you missed it for the people in the back. Keith Lee, the famous food reviewer, went to the restaurant to try the food for the first time and to also leave Unc a $4,000 tip. But Mr. Tendernism was busy and security said no. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. And then after the fact, the owner found out what happened. And then he made a video.
If I would have known he was here, I would have probably asked Edie to stop for a few seconds so we could go over there. That's what I would have done. But ever since I reached out to him, I've gotten zero response.
That video looked like a hostage situation.
We thought he was a regular customer, so we treated him like a bag of dog shit.
And that's how all of this came to the light. So now we have learned that Unc ain't nothing but the cook. We at least thought that he was a partner.
Hope and I pray that he's getting compensated handsomely.
How much is Unc making? Did Unc at least get a $25,000 bonus for all the money that has come into this restaurant? So let me explain why people are upset and this story is going viral. It's because this is way too familiar to people like us, where we don't get the credit, but we doing all the work in the back. And so now, effective immediately, this restaurant is canceled. The 15 minutes of fame is over, baby. Because now we all know the truth. Who's really banking from this restaurant? And it ain't Mr. Tendernism.
Found that Tendernism destination was not black owned, was not on my bingo card in 2025. Especially people that talk about, well, me, as somebody that talks about generational trauma and reparations. For everybody saying, I don't see the problem with it. The fact that this man was able to grow a business is exactly what slaves did in this country. We picked cotton, we made the US billions, and then they gave us our freedom, and now we're still fighting for reparations in 2025, while every other nationality that has ever been wronged in this country has pretty much received some type of reparation.
The reason why this whole Destination Smokehouse tenderism situation doesn't surprise me is because
Paula Deen.
it's the same thing that happened with Paula Deen and Dora Charles.
Yeah.
So Dora Charles worked with Paula Deen for like 22 years, alongside her, not under her, alongside her as a chef in the kitchen. And Paula Deen promised this woman, if I get rich,
You get rich.
you with me. If I get to the top, we both get to the top. But in exchange, Paula Deen wanted this woman's recipes, and she gave it to her. Gave Paula Deen all of her recipes, taught her how to cook in everything.
New Orleans.
Paula Deen ended up writing cookbooks using this woman's recipes. She ended up getting Food Network deals with this woman's recipe. And guess how much this woman made while she was working in Paula Deen's kitchen?
$10 an hour.
$10 an hour.
$10 an hour.
$10 an hour.
Yep.
And then she didn't even sue Paula Deen. Paula Deen got sued, but it wasn't by her. It was by somebody else who sued Paula Deen for hostile work environment and racism, because she heard Paula Deen over talking saying that she wanted black chefs and black waitresses to cater like a wedding or a party she was having for one of her kids or whatever, and she wanted them to dress like slaves. But it just goes to show that people from that decade, people from that time, they lived differently. They don't question like superiority, especially when it comes to somebody who was white. And Tendernism, Unc, aka, he's not the person to question it. Like, I bet you right now he doesn't see anything wrong with the situation. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. He doesn't see that there is a power imbalance. He doesn't understand that, because to him it's not clicking. We see it because we grew up in a different time. educate ourselves.
Because it's still have that slave mentality.
People like him and people like Dora Charles, who never sued Paula Deen, who still to this day will say and kind of admit that Paula really didn't do nothing to her. The only reason she spoke about it is because it came out. They don't see any wrong in what happened. They don't see they were treated wrong.
And I want you to know, everything that happened with Mr. Tenderism and the Destination Barbecue is 100% your fault. Everything was fine until the black folk found out that he didn't own that barbecue restaurant and he had a white slave master.
Move, y'all. I got it. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Alicia, and I'm finna cook you. Now, I am a little confused as to why you're making it seem like Unc leaving that business was some sort of terrible decision, but don't worry. Let's go through the evidence. Let's start from the beginning. Number one, isn't discernment such a gift? Because the internet looked at the situation with Unc and the owner and clocked it almost immediately. Unc was the face of the business. Influencers, celebrities, everybody was pulling up specifically to get a video with Unc, watch him throw the glasses off and say, and keep it pushing. It became a viral trend. He made the business go viral, but people also began to correctly point out that Unc was helping the business grow seemingly without the benefits of owning the business and without the money that comes with a thriving restaurant that has lines wrapped around the block 2-3 times. And that became abundantly clear because we later found out that the phrase tenderism got trademarked, but it wasn't trademarked by Unc, even though that is literally his catchphrase. And that's the problem. So when the Keith Lee situation blew up, all they really did was expose and confirm what people already suspected. And they eventually parted ways. Now, the owner says that Unc was not asked to leave, but Unc said on his GoFundMe that he was fired, and I personally have no reason to believe that Unc would lie about something like that. I believe him when he says that he was fired. But here's the thing about life. When one door closes, another door opens. Amen? Because when Unc left, he started his own business. He's still going viral, but now it's on his own terms. He's going on tour. He catered for the Ron Isley. He was featured this week on the Sherry Shepherd Show, and he posted a video with the lawyer who filed the trademark for tenderism, and that lawyer said he's going to give that trademark to Unc, so Unc will now be the owner of the phrase tenderism. Isn't that amazing? The blessings have just been raining down upon Unc ever since he left that other barbecue restaurant. So from where I'm sitting, Unc seems to be doing just fine. So let's go back to your original question.
Mr. Tenderism, y'all got under his skin. He thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get my own. I'm gonna go do my own. Let's see if y'all fucking support him now.
To me, I feel like you were trying to sneak this and say, oh, nobody would support Unc if he left the restaurant. But from where I'm sitting, it seems like Unc is doing just fine.
Destination Smokehouse is exactly why I make videos. Unc Tenderism is exactly why I make videos about white people in America. And y'all get mad, y'all fight with me in my comments, but let me explain to you what happened. There's a black man.
Okay, family, you got a picture. Like I said, this is, I guess, see this pop on here, so I had to pause on here. So you guys know that. Keep saying over and over again, they need us more than we need them. Without us, they can't survive. Listen, there's some fucked up black people, and there's some fucked up white people. But majority of white people just don't like black people. And we know that already. So anyway, like I said before, we are going to survive without them. Not with them, without them. Subscribe, share, like the video. I'm out of peace out. Lots of love.